Hey everybody, it's Karyn Bryant for MMA Heat. I am talking with Gilbert Melendez, who we all know is fighting for the UFC lightweight title at UFC 181. Gil, look at you, just chilling right now, relaxing. It's just a couple days before the fight. How's everything going? How's fight week been treating you?
Everything's good, you know what I mean? Getting to Vegas and, I did all my other interviews. I mean, this is one I like to do because you're my girl and stuff, but
Thanks.
it was kind of a little hassle. But now that I'm
Yeah.
all settled in, just got done working out with the boys, I feel good now, you know? Tomorrow I'll make weight, should be no problem. I mean, it's never easy, but feeling good.
Yeah. Well, you've been doing this for quite some time now, and yeah, like you just said, it's never fun. It's never really that easy, but it's not like you walk around super heavy anyway.
Exactly. My boy Nate Diaz, he needs to cut 15 pounds just to be within 15 pounds, and, I feel bad. There should be more weight classes. But for me, though,
Yeah.
when I'm fat and out of shape, I'm like 176. When I'm in shape, just dieting,
Yeah.
easy 170. So it's never really been an issue for me.
Right. So here's the deal. We were talking about this fight obviously on UFC tonight, and even just on the sidelines there, we were talking. You certainly have more momentum, and I wonder if you feel that. I mean, granted, you guys had to stop to do the Ultimate Fighter, but Anthony's been hurt for quite some time now. He won it in August of 2013. So do you feel that you have a little bit more momentum going into this, and that's something that's definitely working to your favor?
Yeah, I do. When you put it that way, we've been out for a long time,
Yeah.
but he's been out longer, and he was actually out with the surgery and a little
Hmm.
bit of, a little sideline time while I was running and I was training.
Yeah.
I've stayed busy though. I'm always a grinder, not only in the gym, but working and doing TV stuff with you and all
Yeah.
that. So I stay busy and everything. So it's hard to always stay in the gym, but I feel like I do have more momentum coming off my fight and having more time in the ring too. He's had
Hmm.
some quick finishes, but
Yeah.
he's about to go to five. He's about to go into war right now, and I have more experience there.
It's interesting. He recently said that you were a beginner when it came to striking. I was like,
Yeah, yeah, man. He's been he's been cool the whole time, and
yeah,
this last week he's been a lot more mouthy, and I don't know if he's trying to pump up the fire or do what he got to
right,
do or motivate himself, but
right.
you know, I I admit, I'm not the best striker, I'm not the
Mhm.
best wrestler, I'm not the best grappler, but I'm one of the greatest mixed martial artists out there, and that's what this sport is, mixed martial arts, and my hands are deadly because I'm gonna
Mhm.
be threatening a takedown. And he's gonna be so worried about my takedown that my hands are gonna be, threatening him all the
Mhm.
time. So it's MMA. It's
Yeah.
not one dimension. Things are going to be coming from all angles. And he'll see. I'm also an
Yeah.
intelligent fighter as well,
Mhm.
and maybe not the most athletic, but I make smart choices in there,
Mhm.
and that's why I'm successful.
Yeah, it's going to be obviously a great fight. I think he's saying he's going to be able to finish you in the first round, and I do believe that. Not that he's going to be timid. Obviously, he's training really hard, but I feel like there's going to be a sense of like getting his rhythm back, which uh, could take him a little time. He may not come out as hot as he thinks he is.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's, it's a little Conor McGregor plagiarism, is what I've been saying. But again, I don't know if he's just trying to pump it up
Yeah.
or he's just getting a little too cocky, a little ahead of himself. But
Mhm.
again, I've never been finished once in my career. I've never been finished, and I've been dropped, but I've got back up,
Mhm.
and I got a lot of heart, and I'll be damned if this is the first guy to ever finish me in the sport.
Yeah. You've been doing this so long, but I do wonder, what the belt would mean for you. You came really close against Benson Henderson. You've been focused for a long time on getting this title here. I feel like everybody wants the UFC title. You can have other titles, but that's the one that everybody wants. But does it signify anything like you know I don't know. Not that it's not. I don't know. I just really want to know what it means to you, like how important that has been for you as a motivating factor in your career.
No, I feel like I've accomplished everything there is to accomplish in
Yeah.
this sport. I fought on the biggest stages
Mhm.
and won plenty of titles. But
Yeah.
now right now the mecca of the sport is in the U.S. and the most prestigious title is the UFC title,
Mhm.
and it would definitely mean a complete career.
Yeah.
Accomplishing all there is to accomplish in this game, and I
Mhm.
think that would also put me as one of the greatest of all time in the
Mhm.
sport when you really assess it all. Um, but I need to win that title in order to be considered that one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And I've accomplished a lot, but I think it is necessary, and and I like that pressure, and some people have never got that UFC gold that are amazing fighters.
Yeah.
But I think to be considered one of the greatest of all time, you're gonna need to get that.
I was talking to a fighter, actually, one of the girls that was on The Ultimate Fighter, and I won't say who it is, but she was kind of explaining the fight for her through her eyes, and she was kind of saying that, sometimes they would stop and watch you guys train. And actually, she was on Team Pettis, I will tell you that, and said that wow, it was really amazing to watch him. He's so skilled. And her comment was that she thought that perhaps you've stayed not that you haven't evolved as much, and that the style that you had a few years ago is the style that you keep. Do you think that's a fair assessment? I mean, you're certainly like the kind of guy, like with the Diego fight, that you get your head down, and like I was joking, you got to kill you to take you out of there. But do you feel that you've been adding new wrinkles, or do you think that that what you had already was solid and you just kept like stayed true to yourself? Do you know what I'm saying?
No, no, no. I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying, and I'm always a student of the sport, and I'm
Mhm.
always learning. You start learning so much, and you get so far,
Yeah.
and and I'm never gonna learn to run off the cage and kick someone. Let's face it. And that guy is, Pettis is evolution before our eyes, and his
Yeah.
body and his athleticism allows him to do some really cool things.
Mhm.
But things that aren't as noticeable as me, for me is, I'm fighting Diego, but I'm slipping and sliding in the pocket and all that chaos. I'm working on different combos. I'm making intelligent decisions. I'm continuing to work my grappling and wrestling, and I plan on showing it in this fight. But it isn't as noticeable. Like, for instance, there's the triangle choke.
Mhm.
Everyone knows it, but eventually you learn little tricks in jiu-jitsu, not new submissions, but new little ways to finish it,
Yeah.
new little ways to defend it. So counters to the counters, counters to the counters. It keeps evolving, and right now I have to learn how to fight that style. That's a stick and mover or a striker. So I've adapted my style to fight someone like Anthony, but I understand where she's coming from and how she can say that.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is too, there is also that idea of like, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure,
It's
sure,
been
exactly.
working.
I like my style. That's what I do. I bang,
Yeah.
I'm a brawler, but I don't want to be dumb. There was a point where I'm like, man, I'm getting hit too much.
Yeah.
Okay, let's learn to slip a little more. Let's,
Right.
Let's long lat. Let's make them miss a little bit. But I think, my strength is I can maintain that sanity in the chaos, and not many people can maintain that sanity in there. They start looking down, they start flinching, they don't like it, they run away. And I think it's a priceless skill that a lot of people will never learn, and I think that will make the difference in this fight as well.
Well, and I do believe in your heart. I mean, that's something when you watch you fight, when you watch Nick, when you watch Nate, Jake, you guys never quit.
Yeah, that's us, man. We never quit. Sometimes we do train hard. We are a little old school. I'm an old guy. I'm an older guy in the sport now. You know what I mean? It is a little different, and I am seeing things evolve. But some things we keep old school in, and is that we train hard, we grind, and we like to be overtrained instead of undertrained, and we like to be prepared. And I feel confident when I walk in the cage, and I know I can just go hard for 25 minutes and push hard for 25 minutes. That gives me a sense of confidence that I can just go out there and do my thing. And and that's just our old school style. We're not scared to go out there and push it for 25 minutes.
And obviously, it's got to be helpful that Nate's got a fight coming up next week.
Yeah, it has been. I was with Nate last week. Was the last time I worked out with him. About not last week, but the week before that, 2 weeks out. Thursday, I was training with him and Yancey, working with Richard Perez out there, and it's always good working with Nate. Him and Yancey are good dudes to work out with. Nate has a great jiu-jitsu. Yancey's so hard to take down off the cage, so I had to work my takedowns with him, and just being around that and working out together was good.
Nice. I'm excited. I'll be in Phoenix next week for that show. So.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna head out there too. I got to go out there and support my boy, and there's a lot of people fighting and stuff right now on our team. So he's one of them. I got to go support.
It's nice. It's funny because over the years covering you guys all the way back. I think the first time I met you or did one of your fights was in like 2007 or something like that. So I look back on it, and when I think about how many scrap pack fights I've seen, I'm like, damn, I've seen a lot.
It's been a lot now, right?
Yeah, it is. It's great.
It's
And it's funny because I feel like I think it's just really cool that you and Robbie are fighting on the same card too. I feel like you guys are from that same era, and I don't know. It's like heartwarming to see you guys still doing so well.
It really is, you know, and I sit next to Robbie and I see him too, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's such a G, you know.
Totally.
I've seen him forever, you know, like I've been a fan of his too, you know, and he's
Yeah.
been here before I have, you know, and you know that's the thing, you know, me and Robbie, you know, Robbie more so than I, you know, I've been top 3 in the world when Pettis was trying out for the, you know, the Ultimate Fighter and not making it, you know what I mean? I've been in the sport for a long time, you know, top 3 in the world for the last top 5 in the world for the last 8-9 years or something like that, you know, in 45s and 55s. So, you know, we've been around for a while, me and Robbie. So, you know, we've been staying relevant when people come and go, and I plan on staying here. You know, I'm gonna do the B-hop style, you know,
Nice.
Bernard Hopkins style here. Maybe not that old, but
I was
you
gonna
know,
say B-Hop, man. I was like, oh, bro, keep your hands up. I don't know if you should be
get
here,
out
but
of
I know
there.
what you're saying. It's great. You know, the Ultimate Fighter was just on a couple hours ago. We're getting down to, I guess it was the quarterfinals, and Rose defeated JoJo in this one. You know, it's funny. I know it's tough for you. You know, you can see it. You can see it. It's been a tough season. You know, not winning the fights and going all along. But there's the idea that, like, holy crap, Gil, like, you may be able to take all of them out with one bullet. You know what I mean? It's like you got
One
one
bullet.
bullet in the gun there, and you might be able to
That's
pull this off.
yeah, that's what the Wooden Man, my stand-up coach was saying. He's like, we got one bullet. We got one bullet. That's all we need. And you know, it's been really good because you know, she did amazing. You know,
Yeah.
JoJo was a savage. You know,
Yeah.
and I didn't get a chance to see it tonight or replay the fight, but I remember seeing it live, and it was a very you know, passionate fight on both ends, and it was cool to see Rose, you know, come on top. A lot of respect to JoJo, but yes, you know, and now that there's one person on the team, it's really cool. Most of the ladies, sorry about that.
Whoop. Yep.
Yeah, it was really cool that, you know, most of the ladies, you know, got behind Rose, and it was like a you know, a 6-week truce, you know.
Yeah.
Let's all commit to each other and help each other out for these 6 weeks. And if it was opposite, I think Rose would have done the same for Angela Hill, or, you know, if anyone else was in there, they would have done it. And but anyways, the point of it is that all those girls are, you know, jumping along and trying to help her out as much as possible. And and it was really cool to have that around. And so, you know, it's cool to focus on the one bullet.
Yeah, it's excellent. Was that not that it was a difficult experience, because I feel like it's probably difficult in a lot of ways, but you know, how hard was doing that season, and how hard was it kind of going through and trying to keep morale up, you know, during the weeks before when you didn't have a win?
Yeah, you know, it was all good the first like 4 weeks, and then, you know, there was this point like in 3.5 weeks in where it was just like everyone hit the stress level. People were getting sick of each other, and like, you know, things were getting repetitive, and you know, we were losing, and you know, then we overcame it, you know, but you know, and then we had a good stride towards the end, and try to enjoy it as much as possible. But it was difficult, and the most difficult thing about coaching is, like, I've only known these girls for 6 weeks. You know, it takes years for me to make a relationship where I could really be able to tell.
Oh, where'd you go?
You know?
There you are.
So it's tough. It's a tough situation to do that.
No, absolutely. I'm getting a little hiccup from you. You there? Are you there? Oh yeah, there you are. Okay. It just started raining in LA. I think the Wi-Fi's going crazy.
Okay.
But you know, speaking of that, didn't Beck come up and train with you guys a little bit after the fights? After the show, rather?
Yeah. You know, Rose and Pat came up first, and then Beck came up recently with Lazy. And yeah, it was good to have them there. They all trained with my girl, and trained with Jongsunan, and trained with us, and it was good to have them around, you know. And you know, they were all welcome, and you know, those ladies made it happen, and it was good to see them there.
Very cool. Well, you know, best of luck. I actually know what happens, you know, in the show a little bit, but I'm just going to say, you know, congrats on, you know, you did a great job, and I feel like you were a coach that people really respected, and I think that, you know, people really liked the sense I've gotten from, you know, I've met a lot of the girls that have come on the show, you know, for Tough Talk and stuff, and had just really positive things to say about working with you. So good job, Gil.
Thank you, Karyn. I appreciate that, you know.
So, hey, well, yeah, no worries. And what do you think of the uniform deal that just came out? Is that cool for you?
You know, I'm on the fence now. I don't know enough about it yet.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's really cool that we're gonna look like professionals, and I like that idea. I've had a lot of loyal sponsors, you know, right here, 1-800-Radiators, wearing it on the shirt right now.
Nice.
You know, that have really supported me, and you know, there's times when you're out for 15 months not fighting, and these guys keep the checks coming and support me, and you know, DC Solar as well, and Echo, and you know, these guys really, you know, they do a lot for me. So I hope it's the same with Reebok, and I hope they can do the same. And I just hope I can still offer a lot to these sponsors I have now and keep these relationships going. I think a lot of fighters depend on it, and especially these young fighters who are making 8 and 8. They can almost double up their money on sponsors if they know how to hustle right. That's the only thing I'm concerned with. But I do have faith that the bosses will take care of us and make that all okay.
Well, here's one thing you can do. We can shoot stuff for you. MMA He can shoot stuff for Gilbert Melendez. We'll get it up on YouTube. Slap your sponsors all over that. See what I'm saying?
See, I love that idea right there.
I'm telling you, we're going to make it work. We're going to talk about this after the fact.
I got this. I think that's a great idea, dude.
So listen, Gil, you been doing great when you work with us at Fox. How much do you think you will invest in that when your fighting is over? I mean, is that something you feel like you'd really like to keep doing and commentating and doing the analysis on TV?
I really enjoy hanging out with you guys, and and especially being around people who know the sport.
Yeah.
It's fun, and I feel like it's actually made me a better fighter and breaking down fights on my own. And when I do retire, I really can't wait to try it out a little bit more and maybe even take some classes and really be a student of it. I just kind of go out there and wing it and watch some tapes of some fighters, but really learn how to be a good analyst and really learn how to do it. I do look forward to trying to do that and hang with you big boys out there. But I also want to coach fighters and I just want to be in mixed martial arts. I love the sport so much. So there's so many things you want to do in it, but I would love to continue to be an analyst.
Be great. Well, you're doing great, and the great thing is at Fox they just want you to be you, and that's the whole thing. Is you have such a wealth of knowledge, and your charm is that you're real. So that's actually amazing to be able to be your real self on TV, because some people freeze up and can't do it. So
cool, man. I appreciate the feedback.
Some of
these guys are funny, man. They have the gift to gab on there.
Totally.
It's tough to hang sometimes, but I just sit back and enjoy the show.
Well, especially when you're with DC, you always have to be on guard, because he's gonna throw you under the bus. He's gonna it's so bad. We'll interview somebody, and right before you're going, he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Karyn picked against you. Have a great fight." You're like, dude.
Yeah. I wish I was a little bigger so I can put up a fight against him, but we'll have to team up on him and figure it out somehow.
Yeah, for sure. So next up for the scrap pack, we have Nate's got a fight. Does Jake have another one coming up too?
I think Jake just got offered a fight. I'll let him talk to you about it, but reach out to him, and and he's on a path. He's gonna go win that World Series of Fighting title, and and then we got Nick coming up too in January, and Nate next week. So, and Yancey is fighting the day before over here on the Pearl show with all the girls, and my boy Josh Berkovich is fighting a World Series of Fighting, making his debut too, and he's fighting on the Sacramento card on the 13th as well. So, a lot of guys coming up. So shout out to all of them.
Awesome. Well, I'll let you get some rest. I really appreciate you talking to us tonight. And, like I said, I've just been a fan for a long time. I think you have an awesome style. And it's just, it's like there's never a boring, you're never like, I don't need to see the Gil fight, whatever. It's like they always deliver. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Karyn. Yeah, that's the best compliment out there.
Cool. All right, Gil, I'll see you soon. Have a great night.
Good night. Thank you.